What's going on YouTube? Hidden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the consistent falling wedge pattern that seems to be playing out completely, and at some point, which we'd like to think was yesterday, which might be today or tomorrow, is pretty much at wit's end, and we have to make a decision as to which direction we're going to be moving to, as this is bottom, guys. This is it. We don't really have much more room to move to before we see another break in the pattern that's forming here. Now, it's not just XRP I would like to look at, it's also Bitcoin too, because Bitcoin is starting to form some sort of falling wedge that I will show you guys as we zoom in on the charts here. You can see we're starting to use the bottom support of the recent falling wedge that we actually broke out of as a means of support, lowering ourselves back down. But what's interesting too is when you look at the weekly charts here, you can actually see that this red uptrend we have might make a little more sense in the recent bottom, or finding the bottom for Bitcoin, that could allow us to swing back up. So there's definitely a few things that we do have to talk about moving forward, trying to basically find this bottom, as I am a very strong believer that the bottom is in for these cryptos, that we're not going to see necessarily a bear market. I know a lot of people are starting to, kind of get some FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in regards to the fact that markets might start to continue to dump lower. But I am, until proven wrong or proven otherwise, a strong believer that a bull market is to come, and that, yes, I know we've seen consolidation, but this is a healthy pullback for allowing the rest of 2022 to be a fairly bullish market. So I do have these indicators that I do want to just show you guys and, get your feedback as to what you think could be happening within these cryptocurrencies. Now, with that being said, guys, today's video is brought to us by Coldstack. As you guys can see here, Coldstack is a decentralized cloud aggregator, and it is first to market decentralized storage aggregators for Web 3.0, which is very cool. So more information about Coldstack will be at the end of today's video. I've also linked them down in the description below if you'd like to check them out early. And with that being said, guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, first and foremost, let's discuss the current coin market cap. Once again, another day of this constant consolidation. It's almost starting to appear like most of these cryptos, as I said yesterday, are pretty much becoming just stable coins, because we're not seeing any volume move us in any sort of direction, and this is not a good thing. So as you guys can see, most of these cryptos, once again, are just consolidating. We're really not seeing any price movement in any direction here, and that's pretty much what we're waiting for. It's almost acting like some of these cryptos are becoming stable coins, which I know is crazy, but the longer we consolidate out, the more it's acting like a stable coin where prices aren't moving. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing that we're consolidating out, because usually what happens is when we see day after day after day of prices tend to just trade sideways, it usually builds up volume, and then eventually we break with a pretty, intense amount of volume that actually swings the coin and gives us an opportunity to leverage these cryptocurrencies here. So moving to XRP, this would be one of those. So the first thing we have to take notice of is the fact that we are forming, once again, or filling out the gap of this next falling wedge pattern that we did draw on about 2 or 3 days ago. What's interesting too is we seem to be stuck within this channel here, where you can see prices pretty much have just been trading. That was a terrible drawing here, but you can see where prices have pretty much just been trading inside this gap here, allowing ourselves to just consolidate. And we've seen this for weeks, literally since the start of December. We've had all of December and now into, honestly, the 5th of January here, just this sideways movement here. And people are getting impatient. Of course, I'm impatient too. Everyone is waiting for some sort of price pop. We saw it a couple weeks ago, which was incredible. We were very happy to see that run. That actually proved to be fairly successful. So we're waiting for the next run to actually happen within XRP. So really, it's just a matter of time now. I'm a strong believer that this is at its end here. We had a similar situation a couple of weeks ago, which was back in, I'd say, middle of December till December 17th or 18th. Reason being was we saw a lot of this consolidation, and we were pretty much trying to pinpoint when breakout was. And it was really like a guessing game as to the last couple of days. We were waiting, are we going to break now? Are we going to break now? Are we going to break now? Finally, we actually broke and closed the daily above finally this downtrend here, this falling wedge that's been on the coin for a month and a half. And that's when we confirmed a buy-in opportunity. So you can see when we saw this one green candle on the, I believe it was 18th, this was enough to say, okay, we actually closed above a downtrend, time to buy in. So we're actually waiting for a very similar pattern to happen right now within XRP again. So we need to wait for confirmation and to see a candle actually close us above that major resistance level. So now since the 23rd up to the 5th, we've had many days of consolidation. So taking a date range here from here on over, it's been about 13 days of consolidation, almost 2 weeks, probably will be 2 weeks of this sideways movement. And once again, what we're waiting for is very similar to the falling wedge pattern that happened before, is a candle to close us above this resistance and this downtrend here. So we're looking for this candle maybe today, maybe tonight, if not maybe tomorrow, because there's really no more room for the coin to be moving. It has to make a decision. There's a good chance that today or tomorrow will actually close the daily chart, the daily candle above this downtrend here, this falling wedge, which would allow us to say, okay, we broke above it. Here's a good opportunity to buy in with anticipation of a rally or a bump all the way back up to its moving average here, closer to 96 cents. So from the run of 82 to 96, it's a fairly strong profitable run here. You can see ultimately the percentage gain would be about a 17% run. We could leverage trade this on Bityard. I have linked Bityard down in the description below, but literally click XRP on the main area here. And once we get confirmation of this smaller falling wedge, which we could jump to the 4 hour to kind of highlight it a little more, you can see what it is that we're dealing with here. Just drawing on the downtrend here, you can see how much more defined of a resistance it is and how much more of a support the bottom is. There is a clear, falling wedge pattern forming once again. So if we could break through this downtrend here on the daily, this would allow us to buy in and leverage to the upside here. So that's really what we're waiting for, is this to actually confirm bullish or bearish, doesn't matter the direction, but these tend to usually break bullish here. So we're waiting to see a daily chart or a daily candle specifically break us above here with anticipation of a run back up to top resistance, which would be at the 99-day moving average here. What we would end up doing is going into a market order, and I'll let you guys know when that actually happens. Hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow, putting in a trade. Let's say we do, I don't know, $500 leverage. We can do 10x or 20x, up to you. I like to do a market order, not a limit order, and obviously buying long and then leveraging this to the upside here, making more profit on our trades. So click on the link in the description, and once you sign up, click on mystery box where you can actually earn free cryptocurrency. You might as well. But with that being said, guys, moving forward here, that's mainly the result that we're looking for, is a confirmation breach above this downtrend on the daily, very similar to what we had happened before, but a much shorter term here, confirming a daily candle to close us above the downtrend here. Then we buy in and can confirm that the run is going to move us to the upside with targets first at 96 to $1 and then all the way up to $1.11. You can see this is now almost a double bottom formation here. So there is still some big anticipation in my books that we're going to be seeing prices break through here and then see a continued run all the way up to the upside once we break through the neckline here. But I do think there is some sort of double bottom, if not higher lows, that will allow us to break bullish. You can also see confirming that on the weekly, there's tons of support, like literally tons of support with this uptrend right here. You can see the weekly moving average is literally allowing the coin to swing back higher. And we also have obviously our green uptrend here, which is also going to act as a means of support, and it should allow us to bounce off and swing back up to point D. Now, moving forward and away from XRP, I want to look at Bitcoin here. So the interesting thing is, I was talking about in the beginning of today's video that there is an uptrend here in red. The interesting thing is, if I jump to the weekly charts here, you can see how this red band is intertwining with the cryptos here. You can see how this is acting as a means of support. So I guess I did adjust it. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to do it on camera, but basically I moved this slightly up. Reason being is you can see how it's acting as a support. Hopefully this makes sense now as to what we're looking at and what we could be waiting for. There's clearly some sort of uptrend or supportive level trend line up here, as well as moving averages obviously floating us up, but we're not seeing that just yet. But prices tend to swing up, and then they came back down to bounce off this on numerous occasions. We have wicks that retest this support, and we have actual candles that retest this support. We have a wick again retesting this support. So really what we're looking for is another retest of this support, and hopefully we can bounce off that. It seems and appears that once we retest this uptrend here, we tend to break out in a fairly aggressive manner. And honestly, you can see in the past here, if we just compare it to back in May, we had a major dump. Now, this took quite some time, a little bit longer than what we've currently experienced here, but this consolidation lasted quite some time. From May 3rd, it took all the way till July. So we had all of May, June, July, and then we saw the break to the upside here. So almost 2.5 months of consolidation. So many people were extremely bearish. This was a bearish move. This was a correction to the downside, that people were anticipating a bear market. And once we retested bottom support, we shot all the way back up to create an all-time high, which is pretty incredible. So I'm looking to see the same familiar pattern actually happen again. Here we are consolidating back down after hitting all-time highs, waiting to hit this bottom red uptrend here, which should hold us on fairly well. Whether or not we actually come into contact with it or we consolidate and then hit it is really no difference. Hopefully we can just consolidate consolidate because it would be nice to not see prices head lower. But this might actually show us the lowest price we could actually see. Obviously, I want this. Wow, how long of a... I want to make this a little smaller here because that was a little ridiculous. And I just want to show you guys maybe how close we could be until we actually retest this bottom support again. Something like this looks to be about accurate, maybe a little higher if it lets me. Now, this is about accurate right now. You can basically see where we've come into contact with it before, basically using it as a means of support, and how we are so close to retesting it right now. If not this week, maybe next week would be the latest before we come back down, retest this support again, and then hopefully get a boost off of this to head up higher. This is why I'm not necessarily in a bearish mindset. I think this is a healthy pullback that we've had, and it's only going to allow us to actually head up higher. You can see in previous attempts, we've used this as a means of support to bounce up and move upwards, and I think it's going to happen again, bouncing off this and heading up even higher. So yeah, consolidation is in. Yeah, we are also using some sort of support here where you can see it's at like 44,600. Previous supports have actually retested this and using it as a means of just holding us from breaking bearish. But regardless of that, we are coming back down to intertwine with this uptrend here, and I do believe we should see it bounce off of this. That's really what I'm looking for, is a bounce off of this. And, you know, hopefully you can confirm it with me down in the comments below, but really seeing this bounce off again and continuing maybe a run of the sort to the upside here, swinging us back up to maybe 80, 90, if not 100K all-time highs. So this is the pattern that I'm looking for, very familiar. You can see consistently that on the way up, we do have some sort of correction downwards. You can see right here, and then we head up even higher. And you can see once again, moving forward, we had another dip back down and then headed up higher. So that's why I anticipate a familiar thing to happen, a big run immediately, followed by correction, and then we pump even higher. Same thing happened here. We had a run, dip, pump higher. We had a run, dip, pump higher. This is continuous off of this bottom support here. And this is why I believe we're still not done with the bullish run here. I do still believe that we are going to see another run happen. And that's why I think this is the end of the bear market. And now we should start to experience runs to the upside. It's just waiting for us to actually confirm hitting this bottom candle here, confirming that we've hit bottom support on this red uptrend here, and allowing ourselves to actually pump higher. That's really what everything comes down to. Lastly, Ethereum, I guess it's just waiting for the other cryptos too. I mean, XRP is doing the same thing, waiting for some sort of support to allow us. You know, we're coming back down to retest bottom. Bitcoin came back down to retest bottom. Ethereum has literally just been consolidating on its daily. I'm not sure the weekly is going to help us because we are really overextended. Yeah, we are extremely overextended here. It's mainly just trying to find some support. Like there could be some sort of uptrend here. It's hard to say for sure because you can kind of see where we've been in contact with it to retest it. It's mainly the weekly charts here. The weekly candles have come back down to retest this bottom support. But I do think it's over. I mean, if this uptrend is true, and it holds true because we have had wicks retest this uptrend here, we should see a pretty substantial pop very soon within prices. Everything is looking like that. XRP at bottom, should expect to see a run. Ethereum at bottom, expecting to see a run on its weekly. And Bitcoin at the bottom, expecting to see a run from its weekly. So everything looks good in regards to seeing a pump to the upside here. Otherwise, you know, not much to do with S&P 500 as it just opened right now as I'm making this video. So we'll see how that plays out. But with that being said, guys, I do want to talk more about Coldstack with you. I want to give a huge shout out to Coldstack for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, Coldstack is the first market aggregator of decentralized data storages for Web 3.0, and it can also be called Uber for clouds, also known as aggregator of decentralized clouds, such as Filecoin. And Coldstack is a unified protocol which allows you to use decentralized cloud storage platforms, such as Filecoin, SIA, Rwave, as well as Storj, without significant integration efforts. And much like how Uber supplies its clients with convenient and cost-effective rides and deliveries from a huge pool of drivers, Coldstack supplies its users with convenient ways to use the world's most affordable storage space from any cloud. And the main purpose of Coldstack is to store and retrieve users' data in a stack of clouds via Unified Data Exchange API, which is 100% compatible with Amazon S3 API. Now, this allows their customers to use any familiar AWS library or SDK and start to use the power of decentralized clouds quickly and easily. And as the first to market decentralized cloud aggregators, Coldstack offers a single entry point to any cloud, optimizing the final costs for consumers with their AI-based pipeline. And it also selects the best storage option for your data, which is available on the market and allows you to save up to 80% of the storage costs. Now, if you want to choose choose cloud on your own, you can also use their S3 compatible API to most of the decentralized clouds that will be published as an open source library. Now, beyond this, the platform also allows you to tokenize your data, turning it into a tradable ERC-721 or ERC-1155 NFT, and Coldstack provides you with a single entry point with integrated API and billing, having the fastest, simplest, and most affordable way within the crypto horizon to release decentralized clouds. Also, guys, multiple decentralized clouds can be combined in one app, and tools or SDK clients designed for Amazon centralized cloud storage can equally be reused. Now, Coldstack issued its CLS token on the Ethereum mainnet and integrated with Polkadot for other platform procedures, and the project is based on Substrate and will use a Polkadot parachain in 2022. Now, CLS token is also the native token used in Coldstack, and they recently implemented Binance Smart Chain and added a nice cross-chain bridge both on Uniswap and PancakeSwap to save some gas fees. And they also have plans to go tier 2 on centralized exchanges pretty soon, which should be in January. Now, the CLS token allows users to access the portal and the entire decentralized clouds ecosystem, as it also fuels and allows for the decentralized storage to properly complete with the centralized storage. And not only this, a strong and ever-growing demand will be created for the CLS token, rewarding purchasers and early adopters of the system to share in the success of Coldstack. And they also partnered with such projects as BitTorrent, Chainlink, Anchor, and many others. And users can also consider Coldstack as a very affordable universal digital asset storage for NFT marketplaces such as OpenSea and SuperRare, and will seamlessly be tradable on these places. So guys, if you're interested in investing in this project, please refer to their website, which I've linked down in the description below. Otherwise, huge shout out to Coldstack for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.